So I worked on this mower a few days ago. At the end of this video, I'll put an up next box to that video. And in that video, we identified a litany of problems. We had a cable, starting cable, that was not working or broken, and I was able to replace that with one I had available around here. It's a little short, but we was able to modify it okay and make it work. Trying to save the customer some money because they didn't want to spend a lot of money on this. Then I took the carburetor off and I cleaned it, and we got it to run. It started up and it looked good in the video. So I took it for a cut. I went around and started cutting with it, and it lost power. And what it is the automatic choke. It's an automatic choke. When it's running, this automatic choke will slowly come back on its own. Well, when it got to the fully open position like that, it would die. So you would have to run in and choke. So there's a couple things that could be wrong with it. Now, when I quoted this job, I quoted a new carburetor and a new ignition coil. But what I was trying to do is save them some money by not actually going out and buying it and coming in a little cheaper by cleaning the carburetor. But like I said, it didn't help. So now the cost is on me. I've wasted labor. I did something when I should have just went ahead and changed carburetor. But like I said, I was trying to save them some money. And I don't know how important it is that I always got to come in on labor cost as long as I'm making some money. So I went ahead and ordered the carburetor and the ignition coil, and we're going to go ahead and change those out and see if we can get this thing up and running. I ordered a new air filter, but I'm concerned it's not the right one. We'll see here. Oh yeah, it is. It's perfect. I'm going to take the top off because we're going to need it off anyways. Now I always check the rotation to make sure I'm going the right way on my impact wrench. That way I don't over tighten anything. So since it's exposed, I guess we'll go ahead and remove the ignition coil and spark plug. Remove the shut-off wire, and we'll go ahead and replace this. So I got a new one. We'll make sure it's about the right size. Yep, looks like it's identical. All right, so I'm going to put a feeler gauge in here, 10 thousandths. It's in between the flywheel and the new ignition coil. And then we'll tighten it down on one side, and then we'll do the other side. Okay, so we got a new spark plug, so I'm going to gap that as well. We're going to gap that at 30 to 35. Okay, so 35 should not go in, but it does. There, we got it. So I'm going to take the old spark plug out. I'm checking to make sure they're identical. I do believe they are. What I want to do now is I want to check for spark. Plug our ignition coil shut-off wire onto it. Okay, I can see spark, but I seriously doubt if you can see it. It's just too bright outside for you to see it on camera. Okay, so let's start working on the carburetor. Okay, since I've done this one already, I know the location, but there's a spring wire here and one little wire linkage, and the gas line. That's all we got to worry about. I've got the gas shut off, so we might get a little leakage, but not too bad. Okay, so this plate comes off, and then there's a back plastic piece that comes off, I think, because I have the replacement here. Okay, so that came off. Oh yeah, that was easy enough. So the gasket is disintegrated, if there was one. I think there was. So we'll clean that up. Yeah, there was a gasket, completely gone. So it might have been sucking air, which is one of the things that I had considered. I have this PermaShield gasket dressing and sealant, and it's fuel resistant. It doesn't seal anything. What it does is it holds your gaskets in place while you're able to assemble the carburetor. Otherwise, this would be much more difficult. So I'm just going to spread that onto the engine right here. And then I can put the gasket on. And there it is, it's in place. Now I'm going to see if it works on this thing. This gasket's pretty interesting. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Certainly didn't come off of it like that. But that's all right by me. Okay, it would appear that I have all the gaskets kind of hanging out where they're supposed to. Got the carburetor here. Now we need to get the linkage hooked back up. Oh. So unfortunately it's raining, so I can't show you that it's running. Now, what happened was is I tried to pull it a few times and the rope broke. I had to make an adjustment on the carburetor. I didn't tighten one of the bolts tight enough, so what you saw was pre-tightening that bolt. As soon as I tightened the bolt, thing started up. I didn't even need the choke, it just started up with the drill. I had to use a drill to rotate it because the rope broke. The reason I hesitated to make the film, I wanted to know what the customer wanted to do. If he had wanted me to just take it all apart and say, yeah, it's not worth it, I don't want to do any more to it, then I'd have just taken the carburetor off and taken the ignition coil off, kept it and gave it back to him. Although I'd have been out a lot of labor. But he said, go ahead and order a new rope assembly and get it repaired, and he's going to pay me the extra for the rope. So it's running. I wish I could show you. Carolyn went down there and mowed the back lot for a bit, never hesitated, ran the whole time. Prior to putting on those components, it only ran for a few minutes, and then you would have to put it on full choke to keep it running. I really think one of those gaskets were bad, but there was no reason not to replace the whole carburetor assembly. So if you'll click this up next box to take you to a video where it's working on something, so if I can inspire you to fix something today so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.